community is more than just a place. It's the people, stories, and connections we share. At the Wenatchee World, we're your neighbors, your storytellers, and your trusted voice. From uncovering the issues that matter most to celebrating the moments that bring us together. We deliver the stories that keep the community moving forward. The Wenatchee World, your community voice, here every day.
Good evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News on this Wednesday. I'm Rick Boone. Thank you so much for being with us today. Let's get a look at your forecast right now with Grant.
Good Wednesday, everyone. Hope you had a great one. Degraded air once again today. I thought we would see a little bit more sun, but as we look from our Rondo Rock camera back at Turtle Rock, you can see that we had unhealthy for sensitive group category air today and much worse up around Chelan. But as we make our way through the week, I think things will get better. In fact, the wind will switch direction on Thursday and Friday, and we will get hot, minor to moderate heat risk. That is in place for Thursday. We'll see temperatures in the mid-90s once again for Friday, and then a chance for showers Friday night and once again on Saturday. And we'll talk more about that coming up a little bit later on. Rick?
Thanks, Grant. We'll get back with you a little bit later. In other news today, we now know the person who was found dead in a police parking lot. The coroner says 48-year-old found dead in this vehicle Wednesday in a vehicle parked in the Wenatchee Police Department lot. Next of kin has been alerted. You can read more on this story right now on WenatcheeWorld.com. Well, it's now official. There's now one police chief for Wenatchee and East Wenatchee. East Wenatchee City Council voted to approve the measure Tuesday after the Wenatchee City Council gave the thumbs up last week. The new dual chief will be on the job September 1st. Well, the primary election is finally certified in many counties like Chelan County. We talked to the auditor on what's next.
So we are essentially wrapped up for the primary on our end, and we certified it yesterday, which means the canvassing board took all the preliminary results that our staff has put together, and myself, the prosecuting attorney, and one of the commissioners got together, looked at the results, said, yep, those are correct, with all the mismatched signatures or folks that were late, that we reject those specific ballots, and we say we're done here, and we send that off to the Secretary of State's office, which has the final certification.
So with that means that in Chelan County, we can call some races. They're official.
Yes. So we're the top two primary states. So any of those races that had two or more more than two folks in it, the 1 and 2 first and second place finishers are going to move on. So we now know who's going to be on the ballot, at least for the Chelan County races in November.
Now, just because you tell me because they're going to be certified in Chelan doesn't mean it's certified race if it's multiple counties or multiple jurisdictions.
Yeah. So, for instance, the 12th Legislative District encompasses not just Chelan County, but part of King County and part of Snohomish. So they're doing in their county offices, they did the same certification, and then the Secretary of State takes those 3 jurisdictions results, compiles them together, and then that's the final certification for those what we call multi-jurisdiction races.
When will we get an idea who's going to be on the November ballot? Who's going to be going against who?
Yeah. So for those ones that the Secretary of State certifies, that happens either the end of this week or beginning of next week. So 100% assurity next week we'll know.
So what was this process like? I mean, you know the election process. Was this a normal process? Was this abnormal? Were there a lot more recounts? Were there a lot more ballots that had questions? Or did everything run perfectly?
I would say every year there's some challenges. We didn't have any recounts in the primary for ourselves, so that was one less step that we'd have to do. We did see a large surge of folks using the mail drop or the ballot drop boxes at the very end. So that was a lot of concentration of ballots all at once. But, overall, and actually I was a little bit surprised, our ratio of people using the drop boxes versus using the mail was about the same as it was in 2022, which was about 70% of folks used the drop box and 30% used the mail. So, challenges, there's always something every year, but I would say this one, thanks to my great team, went really smoothly.
Well, many vets are in Wenatchee meeting and discussing the biggest items on their agenda over the next few days. We went by to see what's going on at the Wenatchee Convention Center.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Veteran Voices. This week I'm at the Wenatchee Convention Center for the Serving Those Who Serve conference. It's a 2-day conference put on by the Washington State Department of Veteran Affairs, and we're going to be talking with a few of the people leading discussions.
Yeah, my name is Brian Bales. I work for the Washington State Art Commission, so ArtsWA for short, and I run our Wellness Arts in the Military program. And that is a grant program that connects individual veterans and their families with art projects, and then also organizations who do ongoing arts programming.
So what kind of art projects are you seeing from vets?
Oh man, so many different things. It's very, very cool. I mean, you get your traditional fine artists like, painting, photography, and you get all sorts of different ones as well. Traditional cultural arts, blacksmithing, woodworking, musicians. Upstairs at our art exhibit, we had a seamstress who did some amazing dresses that she made from our funding. I funded a magician once who wanted to go learn new magic tricks. So, I mean, really, if you writers, if you can imagine it, we can make it happen. I'm not one who is gonna tell somebody what they can and can't do in terms of an art project. I leave that completely up to the individual.
That's it from the Wenatchee Convention Center. For Wenatchee World, I'm Pete O'Kane.
Those on the ground and in the sky checking out how they can defend the little giant fire and extinguish it. We spoke to one official who's out there making assessments every single inch of where that fire goes.
My name is Mike Solheim. I'm a fire analyst for Northwest Team 12. We take fuels, weather, and topography, and we develop what the fire behavior forecast is. That way I can explain to the firefighters on the ground what they can expect in regards to fire behavior for that day's shift. Once incident management teams get on place, we really start to look at the big picture, the strategic plan. First thing we like to ask is, do you have a fire history map of the area? And then that way we can look at that and determine which fires are viable to maybe check fire up in the event that fire wants to progress towards that recent burn scar. And this area, rich in fire history. We've had a couple of fires over the last 10 years, one being the 2018 Cougar Fire. We also had the 2025 Pomus Fire, and both these fires are adjacent to the Little Giant Fire. And why we want to use those is because they're recent. Fuels were consumed in those fires. And then you also have new vegetation that is starting to establish. And when you have young vegetation starting to establish, they have a high moisture content where it takes them it's a lot harder for them to ignite and to consume because of that fuel moisture content. Beyond 10 years, there's just enough fuel accumulation that fire will progress across that older fire scar.
Well, check out the party this week in Leavenworth. On Thursday, a community block party is scheduled from 4 until 7 at the former Osborne Playfield. That's at 225 Central Ave. A lot of food and free community fun. Check it out. Well, a back-to-school party in Moses Lake. It's actually a backpack giveaway. It's going to be happening tonight from 6 p.m. until 8 p.m. It's at Restore City Church. There will be lots of free prizes and giveaways. The event is hosted by the Moses Lake Police Department. Well, a new member of your family could be coming home real soon in this week's Pet of the Week.
My name is Shelby. I am the marketing coordinator here at Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. Today, our Pet of the Weeks are Carlos, MJ, and Otter. These guys are litter mates. They grew up in foster care where they were socialized. They came here as strays, and they were too young to be at the shelter because their little immune systems were still growing. And so they grew up in foster care. Ooh. He knows he likes to go up there because then that means it's harder for me to get him. But they grew up in foster care for probably till they were about like 8 weeks old. Carlos and his siblings are about 3 months old right now, and he is very ready for a family of his own. They are not bonded, so you can adopt them together or separately. We are overrun with kittens right now, and we have a lot that are still coming in, so we are running a kitten adoption special. So if you adopt one kitten, the second kitten will have 50% off its adoption fee. So come on down to the shelter. We're located in Wenatchee at 1474 South Wenatchee. Our hours are every day 12:30 to 6 p.m. and you can come meet and socialize these wonderful babies. Come meet a couple, fall in love, and you could maybe even take home one or two if you're so inclined. These guys are ready for you, so please come on down and meet them. We are completely full right now. We have, I would say, 2/3 of our kennels are filled with more than one cat right now. So we never put them together unless they are litter mates. So we have a lot of litters going on. A lot of our kennels here have anywhere from 2 to 4 kittens inside of them. And they're getting big pretty quick. So it would be a great opportunity and time period for them to be adopted, so that way they can be integrated into your home just the way you want, and to be socialized to your family and any other pets that you may have in your home and to like your living situation. This is a perfect time period in their development for you to be introduced to them and for them to be brought into your home and integrated into your home. So yeah, I mean, we literally just took 10 kittens over to Seattle Humane just like last Thursday or Friday, and we are already full again. And we anticipate we always get more litters every week from just strays that are sick and injured. And so we anticipate that this kitten season is probably going to keep going through the fall, just because we had not much of a winter last year and such a hot summer. It's making these guys keep having babies. And so we have lots of babies who are ready to be taken home and loved by you. So come on down to the shelter, come meet and play and cuddle with all types of kittens, all types of sizes, coat colors, personalities. It's whatever you'd like, we have it for you. So come on down.
Looks like a great pet to bring home. Why don't you make that pet a great member of your family? Well, just ahead on the NCWLIFE Evening News, Cade, what's up in sports?
Hey sports fans, Cade Calvin here with you. Still to come later on in the show in sports. News from the Seattle Seahawks, a new big signing. The latest from the Seattle Mariners, not doing so good on the season so far. And another award for the Wenatchee Apple Sox. That's also to come as part of the NCWLIFE Sports Block.
And Grant will join us in just a moment with a look at your full forecast. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Slide and surf all summer long. Soundwave Saturdays, more than a surf park, it's the summer scene. Grab a drink and enjoy live music every Saturday in July and August. Slide Waters in Lake Chelan. Don't miss it.
Chelan PUD works hard year-round to reduce fire risk and provide dependable service for our customers. But when extreme fire weather is forecasted, we may resort to a public safety power shutoff, turning off power to a specific area in order to prevent fire. In this rare event, we'll keep you informed before, during, and after the shutoff. To stay prepared and check if you're in a PSPS zone, visit chelanpud.org/PSPS.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope you had a fantastic Wednesday. And as we take a look outside our weather window, this is the south shore of Lake Chelan, where the folks up that way have been living with very bad air quality for about 2 weeks now. Unhealthy to very unhealthy air once again in Chelan. So bad you can almost see the ash on the lens of our camera up that way. And it looks like some relief may be on the way for you you folks there. We do have a change in our weather pattern as we make our way into the weekend, but in the meantime, Thursday and once again on Friday, we have a moderate heat risk. We will see high temperatures both days into the mid-90s, and then overnight Friday into Saturday, we have a chance for thunderstorms, but I think that'll mainly be rain showers Friday night and a better chance on Saturday. We'll talk more about that coming up in a little bit. High temperature today, I thought we'd get a little warmer, but with the haze and some cloud cover, unofficially, I should say, 90 degrees our high temperature today. That's 4 degrees above where we should be for this time of year at 86. And boy, 1967, it was a scorcher. 103 our record high. Another nice mild start to our day this morning at 68 degrees. 61 is where we should be for this time of year. And 48 our record low, and that was set in 1973. Sun came up at 6:03 this morning and sets this evening at 8:05. Getting into your Thursday weather forecast now, and temperatures, as I mentioned, they are really going to warm up. We'll see a lot more sun tomorrow. 95s, Moses Lake, Ephrata, Quincy, right here in the Wenatchee area. Some smoke will keep Eniat and Chelan's temperatures down just a little bit from the rest of us, but still into the low 90s. 93 in Leavenworth and 89 the high temperature tomorrow up in Lake Wenatchee. So we have a couple of hot days. Tonight we do expect mostly clear skies to partly cloudy. Still will be a little bit hazy. Here's our driving area of high pressure down in the desert southwest, creating this huge ridge over us. Low temperatures tonight into the mid-60s for your Thursday. Sunshine out there. Notice our wind direction, more out of the southwest, and I think that will clear some smoke out for us on Thursday, but that will also allow that heat to come our way. 95, a high temperature on Thursday. For Friday, a few more clouds because an area of low pressure, actually it's right here. We can't quite see it yet, but it will form right there. You can see it, and that'll bring those clouds our way on Friday. Still going to be a hot one though, with high temperatures in the mid-90s. And then on Saturday, there is that area of low pressure. It will push some breezy conditions our way. We do have about a 40% chance now that we will catch some of that shower and possibly thunderstorm activity on Saturday. Breezy and cooler with highs right around 90, and we'll really cool down as we get into the end of the weekend on Sunday. Sunny skies, very mild though. Get outside if you have the chance Sunday. Highs in the mid-80s, and then as we kick off our next work week on Monday, mostly sunny skies. That area of high pressure still over the top of the Pacific Northwest. We'll begin another slow warm-up with high temperatures Monday in the upper 80s, and then by the end of our forecast on Tuesday, sunny and warmer with high temperatures then into the low 90s. Here's a look now at your 7-day forecast. Overnight tonight, 66 degrees, sunny and hot both Thursday and Friday, 95 each day. Before we begin a slow cool down into the weekend, breezy on Saturday, a 40% chance for mainly afternoon showers and possibly a thunderstorm on Saturday. 90 your high temperature. Sunday, it looks to be the coolest day, sunshine and 84, and then back to more warm weather on Monday and Tuesday. Sunshine with highs in the upper 80s to lower 90s. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Cade Calvin and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether,
we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. Medicare can be overwhelming, but you don't have to figure it out alone. I've been helping people understand their Medicare options for over a decade. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand your coverage options so you can feel confident in your decisions. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today or come and see me at my office located on South Chelan Avenue in Wenatchee between the YMCA and the Social Security office. I look forward to meeting you soon.
Welcome back in, everyone. I'm Cade Calvin. Let's talk some sports for a few minutes now. We'll start with the latest move from the Super Bowl champs. The Seattle Seahawks are adding another big name to their secondary, signing veteran cornerback Trayvon Diggs to a one-year deal. Diggs worked out for Seattle on Tuesday and now joins a defensive backfield already featuring Devin Witherspoon. The 27-year-old Diggs was one of the NFL's premier ball hawks early in his career, leading the league with 11 interceptions in 2021, returning 2 for touchdowns while earning first-team All-Pro honors. But injuries have limited Diggs to just 22 games over the last 3 seasons, including a torn ACL in 2023. He split last season between the Dallas Cowboys and Green Bay Packers. Diggs has 20 career interceptions in 67 regular season games and now gets a chance to revive his career with the defending Super Bowl champions. Alrighty, well, the Seattle Mariners had a rough outing in Milwaukee last night, to say the very least. Our Nathan Eshelman has the latest on where the club goes from here.
Thanks so much, Cade, and as a lot of Mariner fans already know, that was not a great performance on Tuesday night. A actually historically bad performance, so let's dive right into how the Mariners did.
It was a bad Tuesday night for the Seattle Mariners with the 22-run loss. It is the worst in their franchise history and the biggest margin of victory for the Milwaukee Brewers. There is very little to be happy about for the Seattle Mariners, but they started the game strong with a leadoff double. That's about as good as it got, because then the next 9 innings, they would go on to give up 22 runs. The 22-run deficit is not the biggest shutout ever, but if you were to go back to a date when it last happened, it was 1885. 141 years ago, the New York Giants defeated the Buffalo Bisons 24-0, which stands as the largest home shutout victory in Major League history. Since that time, there have been 2 other 22-0 routs, with the Pittsburgh Pirates taking down the Chicago Cubs in 1975 and Cleveland taking down the New York Yankees in 2004, both of which were done on the road. The Mariners now join the bad side of history, and now their season record is 59-67. Lowlights of the night include Julio Rodriguez forgetting how many outs there were in the 8th inning. The star center fielder caught a fly ball, but then turned around to throw it into the crowd, which ended up giving Milwaukee 2 more runs. The night got so bad that Leo Rivas, the shortstop, came in onto the mound to deliver 1 inning, giving up 9 hits, 7 earned runs, and 1 walk, putting his season ERA to 63. The tough 22-run loss will have to be put aside as they still have 2 games left to go in Milwaukee, with the first pitch for the Wednesday game starting at 4:40 p.m.
That'll do it here from Wenatchee. Reporting for NCWLIFE, Nathan Eshelman. Back to you, Cade.
Alrighty, thanks for that report, Nathan. Well, now some news from the local baseball diamond from the Wenatchee Apple Sox. Wenatchee Apple Sox head coach Mitch Darlington is adding another honor to a championship season after being named the 2026 West Coast League Coach of the Year. Darlington guided Wenatchee to a league-best 39-13 regular season record before the Sox rolled through the playoffs and captured their 6th WCL championship and first since 2012. It's the second Coach of the Year honor for Darlington in the last 3 seasons after he shared the award in 2024. This year's title was also the first championship of Darlington's 5-year tenure as Apple Sox head coach. Alrighty, it's time once again to jump into the sports time machine and take a look back at this day in sports history. On this day in sports history, August 19, 1909, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway hosted its first automobile race long before the Indy 500 became one of the most famous events in motorsport. Louis Switzer won the 5-mile race, averaging just over 57 miles per hour in front of thousands of fans. But the speedway's original surface of crushed stone and tar quickly became a major problem, breaking apart under the cars and creating dangerous conditions. The trouble eventually led track owners to completely resurface the speedway with more than 3 million bricks, giving Indianapolis its famous nickname, the Brickyard. 2 years later, in 1911, the speedway hosted the first 500-mile race, beginning the tradition we now know as the Indianapolis 500. But it all started on August 19, 1909 with the 5-mile dash at a track that would become one of the most iconic venues in sports. Alrighty, that's going to do it for sports this time. I'm Cade Calvin, reporting for NCWLIFE.
NCWLIFE Channel is your local TV station. We believe in being the spotlight and mirror to the communities we serve in North Central Washington. Programming on NCWLIFE would not be possible without our sponsors. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air.
The Surf and Slide Water Park is open from Memorial Day through Labor Day. Surf and Slide is located in the heart of Central Washington in Moses Lake with activities for all ages and abilities. Check out Surf and Slide's Flow Rider Surfing Simulator, Lazy River, 2 200-foot water slides, tube slides, and diving boards. Our children's area includes a Treasure Island water structure, splash pad, and baby octopus slide. For season passes, visit us online or find Surf and Slide on Facebook.
Welcome back, everybody. Let's get one more look at your weather with Grant.
Thanks, Rick. And time now for one last check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. And for your Thursday, we have a minor to moderate heat risk, and that's both Thursday and Friday. We will see high temperatures mid-90s on Thursday. For Friday, also mid-90s. In fact, a major heat risk for the Spokane and Lewiston, Idaho areas. So eastern Washington will see the brunt of this heat. And then by the weekend, we have a little area of low pressure that'll bring us about a 40% chance for showers and thunderstorms on Saturday, dry and cooler as we get you into Sunday. Rick?
Thanks so much there, Grant. Well, the big card show is going to be happening in Wenatchee in just a few days, and one collectible shop here in the area is happy it's coming.
Right here behind me is Core Cards and Collectibles. It is an excellent shop if you need your trading card goods along with other collectibles and memorabilia to help you out with your collecting needs. Now they're going to be opening a second location next month in August in Cashmere.
It was a little bit of a mixture. I was working with one of the local card stores in town for a while, helping them kind of do organization stuff, just mostly volunteering my time. And I had met Josh organically through mutual friends. We ended up playing Catan together, and come to find out he's a huge Magic the Gathering player, and he really wanted a spot in town to be able to go and play, and he felt that there was a player base that would kind of follow. So I was working with the other shop trying to get them into it. They decided it wasn't something that they wanted to get into, and through that, him and I were like, well, I like sports, you like Magic, maybe we can figure it out ourselves. A couple weeks later, I found out that Lewis, who I've known for a long time, was doing card shows with his son in the Yakima area. And I was like, oh, hey, I didn't know you were into this. Let's talk more about that. I'd like to start getting into this. Come to find out, he had it on his dream board to eventually be a store owner. And we just all got together probably a total of 4 times before we ended up looking at spaces. And then here we are just over 3 years later. Pokemon side, everybody probably knows my wife, mostly running that side. Her name's Hallie. She spends a lot of her time down here working with folks and figuring out what they're into and helping them collect on the Pokemon side of things. So one of the things that we felt Wenatchee was lacking was something that covered a majority of the bases. Obviously, we can't cover all genres. That would be a very time-consuming endeavor and probably pretty stressful financially, but we kind of looked at what we felt the Valley was lacking, and we're like, we know we can add our expertise and our passion in these areas to the Valley and kind of gives everybody a place to come where you can come as a family. You don't have to be like, all right, well, I'm into this, but you're not, so you guys just hang out in the car. Everybody can come in here, find something that they enjoy or something that they want to connect with and learn how to enjoy. And then it makes it more of a family or a community-oriented experience. So the Cashmere location will function almost like a miniature version of this. It's about 1,100 square feet, so it's about a quarter of the size. I just tell everybody, just come in here with an open mindset. If you have questions, please ask. We try to be as attentive and helpful as possible. We want to make sure that you're getting as much information as you can so you can make informed decisions on what you're buying and what you're getting into. If you ask us what you think is a smart investment, we'll kind of tell you hey, probably not the best time to buy all your Hall of Fame level baseball superstars because everybody's talking about them. You should be buying the Seahawks right now because the season hasn't quite geared up. Training camp did start, but we'll always try to give you guys the best advice as possible on what you should or should stay away from.
That'll do it here from Wenatchee. Reporting for NCWLIFE, Nathan Eshelman.
Well, that's going to wrap it up for us here on the NCWLIFE Evening News. And for news happening all the time in your world, check out WenatcheeWorld.com. I'm Rick Boone, and for all of us here on the NCWLIFE Evening News, thanks for watching. We'll see you back here again next time.